The original name of Godspell was A. The Godspell, B. All Good Gifts, C. The Gospel According to St. Matthew.
Well, I'm going to go with The Godspell.
Ding! You are correct!
Amazing.
1 for 1. It's like the Gash Cab. I'm not going to throw you out yet. Before opening off-Broadway at the Cherry Lane Theater, an experimental version of the show opened in February 1971 at this well-known East Village Theater, A. Metropolitan Playhouse, B. La Mama, C. The Sullivan Street Playhouse.
La Mama.
2 for 2.
All right.
Question 3. Stephen Schwartz completed the score of Godspell in A. 5 days, B. 5 weeks, C. 5 months.
5 weeks.
You got it.
Oh, right.
So far, you've earned your director's badge.
Thank goodness.
Godspell boasts several famous actor alums, including Sonia Manzano, who appeared not only in John Michael Tevelik's original college production presented at Carnegie Mellon, but also the subsequent off-Broadway production and the off-Broadway Cherry Lane production. Manzano is best known for her Emmy-winning role on this popular children's television show. Zoom, Sesame Street, or The Electric Company?
Sesame Street. I was going to say The Electric Company, honestly. I didn't know that one. But
okay. Well,
right.
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. Great.
In fact, an agent came to the Cherry Lane Theater production, one of the early productions she was in, and saw her and signed her, and the next audition was Sesame Street.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? Speaking of famous acting alums, Shoshana Bean was cast in the 2000 revival of Godspell. Mm-hmm. What show is she currently starring in on Broadway?
Waitress the Musical.
You got it. With Jeremy Jordan now.
With Jeremy Jordan,
exciting.
I know. I would like to go. I would go see it again for that.
Me too. Question 5. Producer Edgar Lansbury contacted a well-known psychedelic poster artist to design the face of Godspell, the show's iconic logo. Fun fact, Theater in the Park reached out to the same poster artist to secure permission to recreate the logo for your upcoming production.
That is true.
Who's the artist? A. Victor Moscoso, B. David Bird, C. Alton Kelly.
David Bird?
Yes!
Yeah!
I thought we were going to get you on that one.
All right, good.
I know we're going to get you on the next one.
Okay.
Who designed the costumes for Godspell? A. William Ivy Long. Oh, I should say, who designed the costumes for the Theater in the Park version of Godspell? A. William Ivy Long. B. Jesse Gephart. Or C. Ketty Schultz.
It was William Ivy Long.
It was.
Yeah, we called him up. He was in the middle of doing Beetlejuice, and he was like, you know what? I have time.
It's all
anything
good.
For my Raleigh family. It was Ketty. It was Ketty Schultz.
It was Ketty.
Yeah.
Of course it was Ketty.
Of course it was Ketty.
Hopefully people listen to the podcast episode.
I listened to it. It was lovely.
So, thanks for playing.
Absolutely.
One thing I did want to ask you, for audiences or listeners who've listened to Carol Desgier's podcast, she's the writer of the Godspell Experience. She really talked about the fact that those original Broadway cast members, Sonia Manzano, Robin Lamont, that stayed with the show kind of from production to production to production, that there was so much room for them to experiment and improvise and really have fun with the script and make it their own. Mm-hmm. So what has been your vision for this production?
Well, we wanted to, when you approach a show like Godspell, which is very formless, and it does not give you a lot on the page, it gives you like the words and the songs and the notes to sing, but in terms of like, plot, there really isn't one. Character journeys, arcs, and all those types of things that you have to figure out. You make it up for yourself. So I really wanted to make it specific to the people that were coming on board. I kind of showed them or talked to them about what my idea about who the people were and why they were all in the same place together. And then I let them kind of come up with a lot of their own things and choices about how we tell certain parts of the story. And, you know, it's an interesting dichotomy with royalty agencies are very like strict about doing things as they're written, but like all over the text for this and in notes and things by Stephen Schwartz that he's written, like a lot of the stuff can be kind of formed around your group. So we have spent a lot of time just kind of playing together and figuring out what works best for us. So it's been a big collaboration between all of us involved.
Well, and I think that's what makes it kind of this actor's show.
Mm-hmm.
It's really an actor's experimental piece because it does give some flexibility for the local actors, the local creative teams, anybody doing it. It gives some wiggle room.
Yeah, it does. It opens the doors. All the doors there are open to you, and you have to decide which ones you go through.
Carol Desgier calls the show a transformative musical, both for the actors and the audience. Do you think it's transformative? And if so, how?
So, yes. I think that the show... So when I approached it, I was very conscious about not making it super like about Jesus, even though it is about Jesus. I feel like it can be an alienating experience to someone who may not be a religious person, and so I wanted to make sure that we were opening up our show to as many people as possible. So we made the show about what it is at its heart, which is love, community, acceptance, and all those wonderful things that we should be doing every day. And in that, I think that there is plenty of transformative material to be had in terms of having these stories being told to you about honoring your neighbor and doing what is good and what is right. And, you know, a lot of people, we have a lot of, you know, religious people on the show. And even with my being very deliberate about kind of taking a step back from making it a religious show or a show about religion, they are all finding it to be very affecting and moving and wonderful. So I think that we're on the right track in terms of how we're approaching the story. And they're all having a really good time. And the music does wonderful things. I mean, the book is tough. There's not a lot there, you know, but the music is so good and these people are so talented that are doing it. So it's going to really hit people pretty hard, I think.
And it's iconic music.
It's
music that's, even if you haven't seen the show, you probably know some of the songs, especially Day by Day, which was a pop hit.
Beautiful City, yeah. I mean, the music, for me, my opinion, the music is the reason to go see the show. And the music is great in this one. And then the stories are really fun, and they're great and entertaining, but the music is the star.
What do you hope audiences get out of seeing this production? Because a lot of people may have not even been born when the movie came out or when the show first came out. So a lot of people may not know really this show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apart from just like coming and having a great time, which I think is part of the point, I think that they will take away that the idea of community and working people into a community and bridging the gap that divides us as people are all things that are kind of explored in this. And I think that we are hopefully working to exemplify those things. That's kind of where I'm focusing my attention, is making sure that that's what we're telling the story of. And, you know, I think that the show carries a lot of baggage with it, not in a bad way, just in like people will be carrying the movie in with them. They'll be carrying this image of their perception of the show. And I was also pretty deliberate in making sure that we were not doing something that resembled what people may be bringing in with them with the show, because I wasn't interested in doing that version of the show. I just wasn't interested in doing the Godspell that everyone knows. So hopefully they'll take away a new perspective on it as well. I mean, I can only hope that people take away something like that.